So the Pittsburgh Steelers have made it official that Matt Canada is going to be the new offensive coordinator for the Steelers heading into the 2021 NFL season. And a lot of you guys have been hitting me up on Twitter and Instagram asking me what can Steelers fans expect from new offensive coordinator Matt Canada, who is going to be replacing Randy Fichtner, who was let go at the end of the season. So before I get into it, make sure that if you guys haven't already, that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. Also, make sure that you follow me on my social media platforms. My Twitter and Instagram is both JT_Sports_. So here's what Steelers fans can expect from Matt Canada as their new offensive coordinator. For those of you guys who do not know, Matt Canada was the quarterbacks coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers during the past 2020 NFL season. He spent time at LSU back in 2019 with Joe Brady. He was like the passing game coordinator, I believe, or something like that. I don't really know, but he spent time on LSU staff when LSU won a national championship led by quarterback Joe Burrow. And for Matt Canada, his offense is really similar to Sean McVay's offense. There is a lot of pre-snap motion. There's pretty much a wide receiver coming in motion on a pretty good amount of the plays. You're also going to see a lot of different, passing sets, because for Randy Fichtner, he was more shotgun oriented when it came to, quick dump off passes and things like that. With Matt Canada, you're probably going to see more different route combinations. Like, you're not just going to see your same quick slants, your same 5-yard out routes, bubble screens, and things like that. Now, what I don't know about Matt Canada is going to be what is going to be his philosophy when it comes to the run game, because we all know that the Steelers were one of the worst running football teams in the NFL this past year. For Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh is a lot better when they're running the football in the I formation, utilizing a fullback, because they did sign Derek Watt in free agency last offseason, which we barely saw his name called at all on offense because he was more utilized on special teams. So I don't know if Matt Canada is going to put more of a premium when it comes to running the ball and strong guy formations. I don't really know what his philosophy is going to be when it comes to the run game. But in the passing game, the Steelers should be better in that department. Even though the Steelers passing game was pretty good this year, even though Big Ben is starting to regress, we saw Big Ben regress late in the season when it came to his decision making. But overall, I still think that Big Ben is at least serviceable for at least one more year. And I want to see what the dynamic is going to be between Big Ben and Matt Canada, because Randy Fichtner was pretty much handpicked for Big Ben. Because remember, Mike Tomlin likes to, always try to give Big Ben what he wants. So Ben Roethlisberger pretty much handpicked Randy Fichtner, since Big Ben had a pretty good chemistry, pretty good connection with Randy Fichtner. That's why Randy Fichtner ended up being the next offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh when they ended up letting go of Todd Haley. Because remember, Todd Haley was really good. I think that Todd Haley may be the best offensive coordinator Pittsburgh has had the past decade, and that's coming from, the Steelers having Bruce Arians as their OC. But the Steelers and Big Ben really became like a top-notch offense when Todd Haley took over the reigns at OC, which is when the Steelers offense was at its best. So Todd Haley ended up being parted ways with because him and Big Ben were often seen butting heads. They didn't get along, so they promote Randy Fichtner, who was Big Ben's guy. And Randy Fichtner, a lot of Steelers fans, myself included, already weren't all that high on Randy Fichtner coming into the 2020 NFL season with how bad the play calling was back in 2019. But Steelers fans gave Randy Fichtner the benefit of the doubt because Ben Roethlisberger wasn't there. You had to work with Mason Rudolph and you had to work with Devin Hodges. Well, he comes in this year in 2020. The offense is pretty good for the first half of the year. Then after Pittsburgh goes 11-0, it was just a complete collapse. It may be the worst collapse I've seen offensively in NFL history. So you couldn't run the football. You didn't know that you could throw the football more than 10 yards down the field until like the last 2 games of the year. So for Matt Canada, without a doubt, his play calling is going to be a lot better than Randy Fichtner's play calling. And there is a rumor out there, I don't know if this is true or not, but Matt Canada took over the play calling in the second half of the Week 17 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's why I'm saying that is a rumor. I'm not saying that is true. It is a rumor, so I'm just throwing it out there. But somebody let me know down in the comment section down below if that is true, if Matt Canada was indeed calling the plays in the second half of the Steelers' Week 17 matchup against Cleveland, because the offense did look way better than how it did in the first half. And Mason Rudolph was making a lot of good throws in the second half against Cleveland. And remind you, Cleveland was playing all of their starters because Cleveland needed to win that game to solidify their spot in the playoffs. So for Matt Canada, here's my 3 biggest questions for Matt Canada. First of all, how is his play calling going to help out Big Ben? Because Big Ben, at this point in his career, he's regressing without a doubt. So he is going to have to be elevated by the play caller. The play caller is going to have to make Big Ben a better quarterback than where he is at this age and at this point in his NFL career. My second question is going to be, okay, how is Matt Canada going to get the run game going? Because we don't know if James Conner is going to remain on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster come 2021 because he is going to be a free agent. You also have Benny Snell, you have Jalen Samuels, you have Anthony McFarland. But aside from that, okay, you have running backs that have a lot of potential. I think Benny Snell is a lot better than what a lot of people give him credit for, but I really like Anthony McFarland. So which running back is going to be more suited for Matt Canada's system? My third question is going to be, how is Matt Canada going to get the most out of this offense? Because at times, this offense was really terrible in certain situations. Like on third down, this offense seemed to only be able to move the ball on third down when it was like behind the line of scrimmage. So we're going to see more shots downfield with Chase Claypool, because Chase Claypool was really dominant at the first stretch of the year. As a matter of fact, you could have made the argument that Chase Claypool was the best rookie wide receiver in the first half of the year, but then Justin Jefferson took over. Chase Claypool started to disappear. So is Matt Canada going to take more shots downfield, or is his offense going to be more, take what the defense gives you? Is it going to be more check down oriented? Not, check down Charlie like how Randy Fichtner's offense was, but is it going to be more proficient? Is he going to be a guy who isn't really focused on taking shots down the field, and he's just going to be a guy who kind of runs the offense like what Joe Brady runs in Carolina, which Joe Brady runs the offense that isn't really dictated on the deep pass game. It's pretty much dictated on the intermediate routes based on things that happen between 5 and 10, 15 yards down the field. That's what I'm really interested in watching, because the Steelers offensive line is aging. There is a strong speculation in the Steelers organization that Marquise Pouncey is not going to return, so the Steelers are going to have a big hole at center, which center is one of the most underrated and most important positions in the NFL, because if you have a great center, the majority of the time if you have a great center, you're going to have a great offensive line. Meanwhile, if you don't have a great center, you're going to either have an average offensive line or you're going to have a below average offensive line. But for Matt Canada, being a new offensive coordinator, having spent the year in Pittsburgh, I think he is going to improve this offense. I think this offense is going to be way better than what it was under Randy Fichtner, because I think that Matt Canada is going to be a way better play caller. Because listen, Randy Fichtner is calling like 5-yard slants and 3-yard bubble screens and things like that. It was really irritating, because at times I wondered, did Randy Fichtner know that you can throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field? I don't know if he knew that. So for Matt Canada, without a doubt, I know that the play calling is going to be a lot better. But in terms of how better this offense is going to be, even despite the play calling, I want to see if the run game is going to get better. Because Big Ben is on his last leg. This most likely in 2021 is going to be the last year that we see Ben Roethlisberger play for the Pittsburgh Steelers and in the NFL at all. So for Matt Canada, how's this offense going to be best suited towards Big Ben's strengths in terms of what Big Ben does best at this point in his career? So you guys let me know down in the comment section down below how you guys feel about Matt Canada. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.